The big jolt for the Congress party. Today, senior leader Kapil Sibal announced his exit from the Grand Old Party and filed his nomination from the Rajya Sabha as an independent candidate backed by the SP. He did this in the presence of Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav. Sibal will be contesting from their ticket. Remember, the leader was part of the so-called G23 group, a group of senior leaders that had questioned the functioning of the Congress. This includes Ghulam Nabi Azad, Manish Tiwari and many others. This comes days after Ashwini Kumar joined the BJP and Patidar leader Hardik Patel quit the Gujarat Congress as well. Listen in to what Sibal and Akhilesh Yadav said today.
I think it is important to be an independent voice और मैं समझता हूँ कि जब एक निर्दलीय की आवाज़ उठेगी तो वो लोगों को फिर ऐसा लगेगा कि किसी पार्टी से जुड़े हुए नहीं हैं। हम विपक्ष में रह के हम एक गठबंधन बनाना चाहते हैं, सभी का गठबंधन, ताकि हम मोदी सरकार का विरोध करें। हम चाहते हैं कि 2024 में एक ऐसा माहौल बने हिंदुस्तान में कि मोदी सरकार की जो खामियां हैं वो जनता तक पहुंचाई जाएं। 16 मई को मैंने कांग्रेस पार्टी से त्याग पत्र दे दिया है।
जिन को सदस्य बनाना है पार्टी को, बहुत जल्दी वो लोग नामांकन कर देंगे। आज कपिल सिब्बल जी ने किया है, वो समाजवादी पार्टी के समर्थन से राज्यसभा में जा रहे हैं। तो हमें उम्मीद है कि देश में जो बड़े बड़े सवाल हैं, आज देश किस रास्ते पर है। आज बेरोजगारी सबसे ज़्यादा है, महंगाई रुक नहीं रही है, कानून व्यवस्था ध्वस्त होती चली जा रही है, हमारी सीमाएं सुरक्षित नहीं हैं, चीन लगातार हमारी सीमाओं के अंदर आ रहा है। तो इन तमाम बड़े बड़े सवालों पर मुझे लगता है कपिल सिब्बल जी समाजवादी पार्टी और अपने विचारों को रख पाएंगे।
All right, Neerja Chaudhary, a political commentator, and Sanjay Jha is also joining us on the show this evening. Sanjay Jha, of course, was a former Congress spokesperson. Welcome to both of you, and thank you so much for speaking with us. Sanjay Jha, are you surprised at all, or is this one of many? Because we've been seeing quite a few high-profile exits. Is the exit of Sibal particularly surprising, considering he's been with the party 3 decades and has been one of its foremost voices?
Well, Tamanna, I'm surprised. Not really. I'm very disappointed, though. When you know that somebody has been a veteran, ideologically has stood by the Congress like the Rock of Gibraltar, has been a passionate defender of the Congress party, not just in courts, but I think as a parliamentarian, as an author, as a writer, as a columnist, and perhaps one of India's well-known and respected public intellectuals. It's very sad to see Mr. Sibal go. Now, I've worked with him rather closely in terms of having multiple conversations since the G23 was formed. And I can tell you that his heart was always in the right place. This is not about, kind of creating a rebellion or, it was not like a personalized attack on any member of the Congress leadership or the family or any such, attributions that were made. I think what he really wanted to see was a robust and a very, kind of a determined fight back by the Congress party, which he saw was not happening. And I do wish that, if he was handled with care, given the respect that, frankly, he deserves, not just for his intelligence and knowledge, but also for his age, if nothing else, I think that would have really helped matters. So it's bad news for the Congress because you lose a formidable asset. And at the same time, it creates very negative optics. I mean, once again, the conversation, instead of shifting to the problems of the government, is multiple failures.
Yes, it's about why the Congress can't, absolutely, it's about why the Congress can't get its act together. In real terms, Neerja Chaudhary, I want to understand how much of a difference it makes. K.C. Venugopal is quoted as saying, people come and go. Mr. Sibal, top attorney, very well-known, public speaker, former union minister. But in terms of on-ground impact, he was never really the vote catcher, is it? So how much of a difference will it make to the Congress in real terms?
Look, I think what were the roles that Mr. Sibal played? What was his contribution at 2 levels, essentially? One was in Parliament. He was a formidable voice. He spoke on issues. He spoke very forthrightly. And we remember, his exchanges with Arun Jaitley in the House, sharp exchanges which people used to look forward to. Number 2, he was, articulate otherwise in the party. And he fought the cases of the Congress. And that has been going on for many years. That was a huge, huge contribution that Kapil Sibal made. Now, at the ground level, I don't think he was a mass leader to speak of. So at the ground level, it will not make a difference. But today, winning elections is not only about ground level, though the Congress party needs to go back to the ground and get its act together there. But it's also winning the battle on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, the middle class, setting the agenda, setting the optics, all that is part of
some will argue
creating
he's on
a
the same
climate.
side. No, Ms. Chaudhary, some will argue he's on the same side essentially, because if you listen to the soundbite we just played out and what Akhilesh Yadav also said, they are in the sense on the same side, taking on the government of the day, criticizing their moves, etc. And perhaps he will continue to play that role even in the courts. So is it about the Rajya Sabha seat? Is it essentially about the Rajya Sabha seat?
Of course, it is about the Rajya Sabha seat. I would come to that. He may not fight the cases of the Congress. He may fight the cases of Samajwadi Party. We don't know what the future will, what his legal career is going to be in the future. But certainly, either in the Congress, there was no role for him now. Because of he had been a forthright critic, he'd spoken again and again, and he was not likely, the way the Congress is constituted, really not likely to be given a role. So it was at the end of the road for him. Now, would he want to pack up his bag, go home and retire and call it a day? Or if he thought he still had a role to play politically, then this was a very smart move he's made, tying up with the Samajwadi Party. And as you say, ideologically, he's still on the same side, though not with the Congress. It hurts the Congress. The question you first asked me,
yes.
It does hurt the Congress because it reinforces the impression that one by one, leaders are leaving a sinking, what seems to people as a sinking ship.
Yes.
Nothing, you can have a Chintan Shivir, you can talk about revival, but at the end of the day, it's not working and people are leaving its side. So that is very damaging.
So definitely that question then emerges, that is there something so unfixably wrong that even stalwarts are deciding to, head in different directions? But Sanjay Jha, two questions. One is it about the Rajya Sabha seat at the end of the day, and Congress does not perhaps have the prowess to get him back there? And secondly, do you see other members of the G23 also looking at options like this?
Tamanna, there is no denying that, all these leaders have played a significant role in the Congress's success story before things went completely awry and downhill. Having said that, I would feel it's rather unfair to say that, Kapil Sibal has made a transactional move because of a Rajya Sabha seat, because you can see his ideological commitment still is steadfast. He is not leaving the party in terms of joining another party, although obviously he's had to quit because I think somewhere he felt very frustrated that, he was banging his head against a wall. And I think that has been one of the, shall we say, genuine issues that members of the G23 and beyond have experienced, that, when you have a problem, who do you go to in the Congress? And while the Chintan Shivir, etc., I think these are more synthetic gatherings, they give the perception that we are on the move. But the truth is, conversations must happen frequently. I have only one key problem here, that if you know that somebody in your house is disgruntled or disillusioned with the way the party is going, talk to them, convince them. Everybody knew Hardik Patel was, pissed off a bit, or Sunil Jakhar was openly, very visibly upset, and yet you cannot retain them. So I think, the old hypothesis that the party is too big to fail, I think these are things that cause you a lot of complacency. And I do feel that where the other members of G23 are concerned, I mean, everybody has to recognize that the way forward to stop the BJP is only if the Congress gets its house in order. Now, there's no sense in criticizing Narendra Modi's performance or the BJP's disastrous show on multiple fronts, because the question the voter is asking the Congress party is, are you ready as an alternative to take over if we were to choose you? And if they see this kind of a negative narrative, they're not going to feel very inspired.
What do you think of the response we saw, Sanjay, from the Congress? Obviously, they can't cry and lament publicly and say, oh, we've lost someone so big. But it's been the same steady response as the faces keep leaving, that people come and go. It doesn't really matter. Do you think this just opens the door for more exits?
Tamanna, I have said it publicly before, and I'll say it on your show. This is not the time to demonstrate your political arrogance. Parties need to have humility, and I believe you can lose elections, Tamanna. That is part of the political stories of all parties. But losing people is, I think, in my opinion, a more grievous loss, because very difficult to replace talent. It's not easy to get the same kind of passion and commitment that you have had for decades in people who have fought with you through thick and thin. How are you going to replace them? This is not a place where you can just kind of go shopping. It takes a lot to get people to be your dyed-in-wool ideologues who are willing to work hard and, kind of take on the might of a very monstrous
right? They need
BJP.
vote catchers. They need leaders who will bring in some votes.
Yeah, absolutely.
The problem was that they were heavyweight and just full of heavyweights.
Tamanna, a short point. You mentioned about Mr. Sibal not being a mass leader. I'll tell you why I disagree with that. You see, in the politics that has now happened, mobilization is just one part of the story that used to really happen in the 80s or 90s. Now an election is fought on social media, is fought through focus groups, is fought through more smaller gatherings, is fought through padayatras, is fought through television studios. It's a multiple set of parameters on which you need to excel at all times. And I think Mr. Sibal has a huge, as an influencer, he has a massive currency. I mean, his columns or his books or his tweets always generated a lot of curiosity and interest. And I think these are the reasons why you cannot afford to lose people. I would say anybody for that matter. You can't dismiss people as lightweight and heavyweight. Everyone.
No, I didn't say lightweight or heavyweight. I said, is he a vote catcher? No one in the right mind would call Mr. Sibal a lightweight in any sense. He is a formidable attorney at law, and everyone knows that. My question is, does he move the needle in terms of what the Congress desperately needs, is more people to vote them in subsequent elections? Neerja Chaudhary, just the way ahead, because the Congress recently also released a blueprint, added more working committees, trying to put a structure in place for 2024. How harmful will be this steady stream of exits to that plan?
I think it is demoralizing, demotivating for the cadre at a time when it is slowly bestirring itself, to do what it needs to do. But I want to say one word on, the Congress's reaction every single time somebody leaves. They come and they go. I mean, what could be more pathetic and arrogant? Combination of those two things. For a party like the Congress to say we don't care who comes and goes, and that is a conclusion they have come to. That at the end of the day, let people go if they want to, and that Rahul Gandhi apparently has expressed in the inner party circles. When the opinion turns against Narendra Modi, people will naturally gravitate to us. You may believe that. I don't, but you may believe in that. But to express it in that form, instead of saying, we wish they had stayed, we'd like them to stay, there's a way of putting it. But I find it very, very objectionable for a mainline party to talk like this. And we will see more people leaving. There is no doubt, it's not going to stop. But
right.
And whether the Congress is doing enough to revive or to move on the road to revival, that is another story altogether. Its response is very disappointing.
Yeah, to be sure. It's another story for another day. But for today, thank you so much, Neerja Chaudhary and Sanjay Jha, for joining us.